Call this meeting to order. Waiting on Commissioner Warren. New business? Do the approval of minutes, do we? Resolution designating the Virginia Edwards Community Center as the polling location for Ward 2. Can you speak to that, Clerk Moore?
So as most people know, there are accessibility issues at the library currently with their elevator not working, so we had to look for a new location for Ward 2. So we're proposing it be combined with the Virginia Edwards Community Center, which is still located in proximity of Ward 2. It does have the space to house both of the precincts. Ward 2 does have the lowest amount of voters, so we don't foresee it being an issue with having too many people in there at one time. The combined for Ward 2 and 4 do meet the state standards as far as how many voters can be in the location. 1 and 3 will remain the same at the high school. It may be at a different location in the high school, but it will still be located at the high school moving forward.
So can you say that again, why it had to be moved from the library?
Yep, there's accessibility issues at the library. There is a state checklist that we have to go through. The major issue is the elevator not working.
Is that the only reason, or is there more reasons?
Yeah, being at that location and having the space to move it from upstairs to downstairs just isn't feasible.
Thank you. I recommend that we move that forward to the full body. Reports, economic development.
Yes, sir. As you are aware, we have a number of projects going on in the central part of the city where streets and utilities are being replaced and streets repaired on Pipestone, in the Pavone May area, and several other places around town. The project next to Imaho Flats, where they're putting in the plaza, that work has begun and is expected to be completed by probably early September, I would suspect, or possibly a little later. Same time, I think you probably read or heard that they're going to start demolition in the coming months on the Modern Plastics building. So we've got a number of things in those areas that are moving right along. As a matter of fact, corner Wall Street project, if you went by today, you would have noticed a number of trucks working in that area. They're preparing the site now for construction there. And we expect Project T to close in the coming month and get underway. So it's quite a bit of activity going on.
Park and Recs update.
Park and Recs, whole park is ready. They're getting ready to start construction in the coming month on the basketball courts there, as well as some of the walkways and so forth. In Union Park, we've been working with the baseball league to get a storage shed put together there, and that's moving along pretty well. I expect it should be hopefully completed in the coming month, where they'll be able to store their equipment on site there and safely where they'll be able to get to it. Yarborough Park is moving along fairly well. We had a dedication ceremony out there previous Saturday, a week ago, for former Mayor Yarborough. That went well. That park, I want to mention though, we're having a problem with, it's actually being overloaded is what it amounts to. But in the process, we're having people parking up on the grass in the park, and we're going to have police officers going through and ticketing people that are parked up on the grass. It's not where the cars belong. There is some parking around there, and there's parking across the street and a vacant lot where the old electric company used to be. We are preparing some parking right across the street from June Woods Park, formerly Broadway Park, so that people will be able to park there. We happen to own a lot there, and we're getting ready to get that so that people will be able to park there, which will eliminate any need for people to have to try to pull into the park. Same thing with Union Park. We're going to be working on parking around Hall Avenue and Emory, where people can park diagonally coming into the park there and not pull onto the grass and so forth. Want to also mention we're having an old problem pop up again. This past weekend, somebody broke into the bathroom at Union Park and did some damage and threw things around and so forth. We're going to be stepping up police protection on these parks and prevent this kind of stuff. And if somebody gets caught doing it, we're going to press it as far as we can with the law to see that it's dealt with.
Thank you, City Manager. Could you note that, Commissioner Warren? At this time, if you want to have public comments, there's a sign-in sheet. We're going to go in order. You got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes. And got a young man here from Commissioner Adams. Could you introduce him, please, real quickly? Could you come to the microphone? Could you come to the microphone, please?
Thank you, Pro Tem Seats. I really appreciate this because this has been a long time coming for the years that we have been working on this Justice 40 initiative with all the funds that have come through and some being snatched away. Climate change is a real thing and energy efficiency is very important for us to save in our households, low income, so forth, businesses and all. And there's a young man that's been working on this for years that started with another organization that has come forth that's working in another capacity that would love to share some endeavors that have been going on with hopefully some resources moving forward. We will be having some more community meetings, engaging more of the homeowners, taxpayers, businesses, or what have you. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce Mr. Bobby Boyd with Steel for Energy Efficiency, coming to us live, local, and real here in Ben Harbor. Mr. Bobby Boyd.
I just wanted to just speak to the city of Ben Harbor. I want to thank you all for, I've worked with City of Ben Harbor in other capacities and other organizations as well, most recently with the Department of Energy. I was working with Mayor Marcus Mohammed in a little bit, and also working with the Palisades out in South Haven in regards to making sure that disadvantaged communities or communities of color got their free share of funding to make sure that they are not continuously getting taken advantage of by our utility companies that do that in our neighborhoods. So as of right now, since I've left the White House, I'm now working with a minority-owned business called Seal in Detroit, and we're working on a program to try to replace aspects within homes within communities of color. So I just want to make sure everyone aware of this program that we have coming right now, that we're trying to work with City of Ben Harbor to get their water heaters replaced, get lighting replaced, get weatherization, so insulation within your home, windows, whatever it may be, to try to make your home a little more energy efficient and less dependent on some of the utilities when it comes to downtimes and weatherization issues in that capacity. So we do have a program program. Everyone's available for it. We're really looking at trying to get the majority of individuals to take part in this program free of charge. It's no cost to you. So we replace your water heaters, replace your lights. It's free of charge. So all we need is you to talk to your property managers, or even if you can be a renter, whatever it may be. Just let us know that you're interested in getting this stuff replaced free of charge, and we will set this up. And like I said, it's a company called CLI Detroit, a minority-owned organization, black-owned organization as well. So we really care about our community. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware of this resource, and we'll hopefully take advantage of this resource here in the city of Ben Harbor.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you my business card. If you could send me that information so I can make sure that it gets distributed. Thank you. Elnora Gavin.
Good evening to the chair. I want to thank you all for this time. There is an African proverb that says, "The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth." The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. And we have an opportunity to embrace our children through Peace Day. And Peace Day is something that started as a service learning project in which students were given an opportunity to do a school improvement plan, and they had to identify what were the problems that they saw in their school and community that they wanted to solve. Everybody says that the children are the future, but I say that they are the right now. They are the right now solution, and as adults, we have a responsibility to make sure that we are embracing them when they offer solutions. And they've been doing that. And in 2014, the city unanimously agreed to make Peace Day a citywide day of observance. And we looked at that as a partnership. And the Peace for Life Student Organization is a formal student organization with the Benton Harbor area schools within the high school. And so that's a government municipality. And so the request was that the students would be able to lead a march to City Park to honor the erection of the MLK Monument. Powerful opportunity for them to combine their civil rights tour to Selma, where they marched with signs in their hands promoting peace over everything, and then wanting to show what they learned and culminate that into the march at the park. And they were told no by the city manager. So that was concerning. Gwen Johnson asked permission. She's been working with us since 2019. And so what I would say is, I'm hoping, I'm glad that they were finally given permission to I think the words were walk past the monument. But what I would say is, let's look at how we can actually partner, how we can actually, put aside whatever personal differences we have with each other. That's fine. Use Peace Day as an opportunity to try to atone, first of all. And then also look for ways to set an example for our children. And when they're doing the right thing, embrace them, uplift them, get with them, and stand beside them. So that is my request, that moving forward, we can look for ways to partner more officially so that there is no confusion, and that the city and the school district and the students can be one for Peace Day. June 5th, 8:15 a.m. At Benton Harbor High School is where we'll be meeting, and everybody is welcome to come. Thank you.
Patty Hines.
Hello. It'd be nice if you pay attention to the people who are up here. Yeah, I heard about the march, and I was really sad because I thought, who would say no to a peace march? That's just silly. And these kids, they're doing a great thing. You know, through the years, and it's been a long time, 30 years, I've been mentoring young people here. You know, I've seen them born and I've seen them graduate. And I've seen an alarming amount of them go to prison. And it breaks my heart when I see a roadblock put up in front of something that is beneficial and positive and good. You know, everybody wants to talk about the bad in Benton Harbor. I see the good. I see the good in our children. And if we don't, as Elnora said, foster this, kids will get your attention one way or another. If they can't get it through good deeds, they'll get it through bad. And I think the march to the MLK statue is a good ending to their civil rights tour because, as I was telling Elnora, I can't imagine how they must have felt going across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. It must have been a mix of feelings, sadness, hurt, anger, joy, pride. And I think it would just be beautiful to end it on a positive note in their hometown so their neighbors can maybe join the march. And maybe every year to get bigger and bigger. And maybe one day the negativity in this city will be gone. You know, like I said, I've been around here 30 years. I've seen kids born and I've seen them go to prison. I'm tired of seeing that. I'm tired of crying. I'm tired of paying for those expensive phone calls. But I take them because I love these kids. I never imagined I'd be down here again. But for the kids, I'll do anything, anything. And I hope that you all do the same because they are the future. And just because we got a crazy man running this country, we do not need to fall behind. That is insanity. We have to resist that kind of behavior. Thank you.
For point of clarity, what's the date on this? June 5th? What time?
It's June 5th. We're meeting at the Peace Garden in front of Benton Harbor High School at 8:15. The event goes from 8:15 to 11.
What
a.m.
route are you taking?
What, down Colfax. I don't know those exact details. We would have to get that from the band director because we're following the band, but I can get that for you.
Are the police involved in it?
So that's the thing. Director McGinnis, what year was that, 2019? Director McGinnis had already, and I don't know if there was a resolution, I believe there was a resolution passed.
All right.
But he had already put Juneteenth and the Peace Walk, Peace Day, as a consistent days of support from the Public Safety Committee. So we've been in partnership. Yeah,
It's a
the
week
police
away.
have always led our band. We've even had state troopers, pass out popsicles and different things. Like, it's a really good opportunity to connect with the students and public safety.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you're the director of it, right?
It's a co-director.
Okay.
So it's a partnership.
I think a discussion needs to be had before we start going all the way one way. I think a discussion needs to be had, and the correct information needs to be given. Because from what the concern was not kids coming to the park. The concern was that it was going to be like a carnival or something with 600 people. 500 to 600 people. That's what we were told.
A carnival?
Or,
I'm sure there was no information
Well-
that indicated a carnival.
well,
It
not
was-
a car. Go ahead. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
they would
It was
eat.
told to us that it would be more than what we have in the park, up to 300 to 500 people, and there would be a DJ there, cooking and everything. And then once we spoke to the woman who was actually in charge, she corrected it and said, no, we're going to march there so the kids can be by the monument, and then they were going somewhere else to have the DJ and food and all that.
Right,
So it was
so-
told to us wrong, and so that's why the city manager had said no, because that park is not big enough for all those people.
So, okay, thank you for that. No, what they wanted was to be able to do that. That was the initial plan. They never expected a no for the students to be able, they've done it in June, in Broadway Park before. And then Juneteenth has a big following as well, and then there was a peace walk from St. Joe over to City Park before, and then there was a Rick Ross concert. So there've been big things, and what they were looking to do, what they've done before is, yes, they've had music. They would, the hospitality, I believe the hospitality management CTE class was going to serve food. They were going to do the peace pledge, and then the buses would take them home from the park so that they wouldn't have to walk back up, because it's twice the distance of what they usually do. But because we got to know, we have to move forward, we waited a few weeks for an answer, and we have to still plan, they said, okay, at least let them go to the park, to the monument, pay respects and honor, do the peace pledge, and then go back to the high school and do those things that they wanted to do at the park. So you got the right information, but we had to pivot because there wasn't enough time to just, plan with vendors. We had Secretary of State coming down, other people, dignitaries who are coming to support this, and we don't want to, be going back and forth with information. So we just made a decision and a request to at least be able to do that.
I don't see
Not the
anything.
Secretary of State, I'm sorry, the Secretary of State's office. I don't want to.
I don't see anything wrong with the kids coming down with the monument. I don't think that's an issue. A city manager, that's not an issue. The kids coming down and. So the whole matter's been resolved?
What does it look like?
What, can somebody clarify what the new agreement is? City manager?
The lady at the school district that is responsible for
Her name is
handling
Cindy
this
Goodson, I just want to.
sent an email to me describing exactly what's going to take place, what the time is, and I indicated to her that we simply need her to complete and send us the appropriate form that we're sending to her, and that it would be approved. And in fact, the police department's going to get with them to make sure they can set it up to occur safely. As was said, the way it was described initially, I didn't feel it was appropriate in that park, and I still feel that way. But what was told to me, I didn't have any problem with.
Thank you, city manager. Commissioner Warren.
Thank you. So I spoke with Ms. Gavin today, and I don't think so. And basically, what we talked about was how it's currently set up was going to proceed for this year. So the students are going to march or walk down, and they will take photos at the MLK monument and walk back. However, we're going to speak 2 months prior for next year and make it clear on what is being requested. So we can then work with the city manager and work with getting proper approval. So that was what Ms. Gavin and I spoke with today. I want to commend Ms. Gavin for, number one, coming up, no hostility, and making a difference. We need to be clear. I don't think anyone in this room is perfect, and sometimes things get misunderstood. Maybe at least I'm not perfect. Things get misunderstood, and how we solve misunderstandings with dialogue and with proper communication. Does that make sense? So because we have had that communication, we are going to try to fix this, go forward. And that's all we can do. We can sit here and talk 3 hours about what the city did wrong, but that's not going to get us anywhere. So now that we know what we want to happen, let's work together and make it happen for next year. Thank you.
I thought somebody would clap their hands. So is this issue solved? Please come forward. Did you sign the list? Did she sign the list? I'm sorry. I apologize. How many we got on the list? Okay. Can we do this in 2 minutes, y'all? Oh, huh? Mother, did you say yes? Could you call the roll on the list, please? Because how many is on the list? All right. Call the roll. Call the list.
Emma Kennard.
Good evening, everyone. I am so happy that this has been resolved. You know, our children is like the right now and the future too. And we've got to focus on them. We can see a lot of things wrong, but we got to do everything we can to help them to make it right. And it takes quite a lot of time for us to work with our community to bring it up instead of it being stereotyped or negative reports about it. So I'm happy to see that taken care of at the garden there where they will begin. I was the one that put that design together. They got me to come in and dig that out, and I was a tired chick by the end of the night from digging that out and designing it and putting it together. And I do love the children. I worked 26 years in the school system with our children, and then it's 19 years at the Fresh Start Children's Garden. This is our 19th season. So I feel pretty good that I have invested time and energy in to try to make things better and to look at not only our children, but our community. And what I'd like to say also today, I look for the safety in our community. I have reported time and time again about the tree that is falling there at the garden. That tree had to be cut in order to lay the sidewalk in because the tree had kicked up the sidewalk. So when they put the sidewalk in, they cut the roots off that was underneath that was lifting the sidewalk. Now the tree has leaned so much, and with the storms that we're having, it's only a matter of time before that tree falls and break in and tear up the fence and the high tunnel that's there. And I've mentioned that last year, and they said they were going to remove it. But it's still there. Now, I have a lot of times people there that has donated their time to be there working. I would hate for that tree to fall and hit those people when they're working there in the garden and helping me. I can't work like I used to do and just put myself at risk. I need the help. So I'm asking all of those that are commissioners, the people that are hearing me, let's get together and try to look forward to safety. Safety is an issue also. So I'm asking for us to speak out that we get that tree taken care of. One of the things that I see, we got the money. We got the money there because it comes from our city income tax. They have an emergency amount of money. We spend the money and putting it into our regular, well, it's a whole lot of details about it. But we got that money that's there, and that tree can be taken down. I don't know why all the other trees are replaced, all up and down that street, but that one is yet standing. So would you please get out there before that tree falls and tear up our garden? We've worked very hard. Thank you.
Mary Alice Adams.
Hello, and thank you for this opportunity. I didn't know that it was actually being spoken on this evening about the Peace Walk because we initially tried to put something in place when it first started. I can't stress enough, being a mother that has lost a child to gun violence, and not just one, but twice, two at one time, in a predominantly black community, to not allow such a thing to take place. Now, granted, Pipestone is tore up, the street is being worked on because of, that was the route. But I think it's wonderful for the idea that has come up to walk it down to the MLK thing. And I think that moving forward, something should be put in place. See, I can't talk about being my brother's keeper and not be a keeper of my brother. And to say that, I'm honored to say that it's alive and very real. It's a real thing. It's a real program, and we've been meeting and we've been working on. There's actually a statewide My Brother's Keeper, and we've been given the opportunity to actually bring My Sister's Keeper into the initiative with it. We've been seeking funds. Things are moving forward, and you'll be hearing more about it and hoping that the community would get more involved. But it's meant to be inside of the very school of the children that we're speaking of. I tried to hand it to them on a platter some years ago, but I guess it just wasn't time. I believe in Godspeed, and I think that moving forward, now is the time. Thank you. That's it.
Tiana Waddell.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Tiana Batiste Waddell. I care deeply about Benton Harbor, even though I do not reside in your city. I come all the way from Indiana, and I know that I'm not always welcome. I know Commissioner Sharon that just left made it a point to make sure that people like me, my voice shouldn't be heard, but I hope that you guys hear me this evening. So I just have a couple of questions, and I'm wondering if Mr. Little is paying attention, because the whole time his eyes have been down, except for when he was asked a question. But I was just wondering what data he used, because he talked about feelings. He stated that he didn't feel it was appropriate. So what data was that? And so, I just don't understand, why students can't go to the monument and actually have events, actually stop and pause and do different things that they've always done over the years at the monument. Why can't that happen? And I'm just wondering, again, what was the data that was used to drive that decision? Thank you. What were you saying? With me? Yes, ma'am. Oh, I thought you were talking to me or at me.
Deidre Fields.
Good evening, good evening. Can everybody hear me? I couldn't hear me over here. You can? Oh, no, you can't. Okay, so I'm here for a couple reasons. Can I reclaim my time, my 10 seconds? Just joking, just joking. So I actually made some notes too. So I'm here to speak of my Total Wellness by Choice movement, 501c3, which I host several activities or programming through, which includes the Wellness Hub, where there I have a community caring closet. Everything is free. I just recently clothed the gentleman 7X. So I have big and tall items, so about a week worth of clothing. I am an actual extension of the Feel Good Fridge, so I have my own supply that I get as well through Mosaic 3 times a week. And it's full now currently. And this is the result of me attending today, Resource Wednesday at Mosaic, which actually was awesome. Bonita Mitchell was there. We had some praise and worship today at the weekly Wednesday Resource Day. Again, I talked about the Feel Good Fridge, and so it's the Wellness Hub, which is at 756 Pipestone. I actually share space in the Benton Harbor Health Center, along with, so we basically have a doctor on site too, Dr. Tyne. So I've even had people that came in with medical situations, and they take priority. I literally can walk them over. So who can say that they can do such things as that? One of my events that's coming up that I would like to reference on today is the Young Readers Workshop that the Young Readers Workshop that will be held at the Benton Harbor Library on Monday, June 30th from 2 to 5:30. It would be 2 to 4 local Black authors, children authors, so we'll have different wellness activities with them. I'm an actual trained yoga instructor as well as a doula. And so I plan to even work with some expecting parents and to discuss some different things. And again, the importance of reading. So I actually referenced on the flyer in the information to expecting moms so they can read to the child. The child hears that. And what else did I want to say? And I'll be having some activities for Friday Financial Fridays. I have a couple young entrepreneurs that wanted to have some activities. I have a individual or youth that wants to do freeze cups. So I'll have a jazzy name for that at some point. And so with all that being said, I wanted to indicate or let anybody that did not know that I'm running for commissioner at large. The primary is August 5th. Oh, I know, August 5th. So, so you have to vote 2 times because it's 5 of us that are actually running. And so there'll be a primary and a general. The primary, the first one I need you to show up for is August 5th. That's it. Thank you.
Renee Head.
Good evening. Let me introduce myself for the ones that doesn't know me and the ones that do. My name is Renee Head, better known as Sister Renee. That's what they told me when I worked at the 700 Club. This is your phone, and your name is Sister Renee. Everybody knows about these potholes / ditches, right? That my car, it was sitting right there. Just looked like I couldn't believe this big ditch pothole that was right there on Territorial, but it tore up my car.
What's the address, if you don't mind?
I'll have to get that information for you. The address, my address, or where it happened?
No, the address of the pothole.
Okay, it was on Territorial before you get to Fair. And I'm pretty sure it might have been fixed, but I didn't go back that way anymore.
I think is that township?
No, that's next. They keep giving me the runaround. This the city, this the township. The township, I live in the township, but they told me it's the city.
Before
Fair
Fair
is
is
the
the
city.
township, that's the township.
I'm talking about going this way. It's the
Off of
city.
Territorial?
I'm going down Territorial, almost to Fair Street, but it wasn't, more like Odin right up in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Odin is, okay.
I'm so glad I got that taken care of, because they've been giving me the runaround, and I've done so much volunteer work. I think I'm old, a little pothole that, you know what I'm saying? If I can get somebody to help me, because I'm so wonderful, with people and stuff. If you can let me know who I need to talk to, since we got this figured out, it's the city.
Do me a favor, could you get the address to the city clerk's office where the pothole is? And then give her your information,
Okay.
and then we can figure that out, at least where the pothole is.
Oh, that's where we're going to start at, right? Okay, thank you guys so much. I'm so proud of everybody. Thank you. And this is my cousin, Deidre Fields. And have a good night. I didn't even get the ding. I did good.
Sharon Brown.
Oh, good evening, everyone. God bless all of you. Sharon Brown, and I wanted to express that it's very heartbreaking to know that DEI has been eliminated from a lot of our government institutions. And I've always been taught that if you didn't have the baking powder to make the cake, you reach up in the cabinet and see if you got some baking soda. And so when they take things or if there's something missing, we know how to use our resources to still continue to build, especially when it comes to our young people. We don't let them go without. We might not have the rice, but as long as you got some flour, we can make biscuits. So this peace walk, it might have meant what it meant years ago when it started. But today, where we are in this country and in our city, we got to add more because of all of what's being taken away. And so I'm scared of that stuff that's been taken away. And so I'm motivated by seeing and hearing things being put in, because then that makes that stuff that's being taken away, it don't hurt as much. As long as I can continue to see progress. And so I get the I's being dotted and T's being crossed, but the value of these young people, that's the focus here. We don't put land, we don't put what ifs, if the baby's gonna be born or not. We prepare that the baby will be born and things will be good and the baby will be in good shape and we're ready. And that's what the adults are to do, is just to get the platforms prepared for the young people to come. And that's what we did with the MLK Monument. That was preparation for Peace Walk. That was preparation for the declaration of Unity Day. So I don't know what Unity Day looked like. I don't know how many people far and wide or tourists or who might want to come. But I'm hoping we can celebrate what we proclaim, which is Unity Day. Be ready for that. MLK, we know that we celebrate his birthday as a people, as a country. Be ready for that. You've got a legacy, a historical piece, and read up on it and what other cities are doing. It does draw traffic. It does draw people. It does draw events. And that's supposed to be a good thing for the city. And for, yes, entrepreneurs and businesses that will be able to profit perhaps from the people coming. So I want to say this and I'm done. 12 midnight, just a week and a half ago, Mac and I was there at the high school as part of the send-off for those 40 young people that were on their way down south. To see all the sights that either some of us have not seen, I know I have not, and they were getting ready to get that opportunity to be blessed like that. Hallelujah for Benton Harbor area schools. We're pulling that off. And we went 12 midnight, we met the children there. And I just so happened had marketing materials of the two monuments, the Benton Harbor, the St. Joe Monument, still left over. And I made sure that each one of those 40 students got a copy of that, because I said to them, now, you're going to see what someone else has in other cities. But I want you to share with them where you're from and what you have when you get back home. And so I can only imagine what I could have never told them or mapped out, that what they witnessed when they went there. And to come back home and know that they have an MLK monument. You want them, they didn't connect the dots. Now, how can you keep them from it? They know too much now. They didn't been somewhere. So let us go ahead and keep continuing to build for our young people. All right, God bless y'all.
Commissioner Henry.
Hello, committee.
I want to speak on the Peace March. Over the years, I've watched this Peace March grow. And, and then to add on to the MMK, Martin Luther King's monument, and I think it's a great idea that we allow the kids not to just stop there, but to utilize that park. Now, I can take you back to before it was a park and what that area was used for. And I can take you back to when the small businesses left and what they said the park would be for. So, in a resolution, we gave the city manager approval to make the decision as to who's in that park and what reasons they're in that park. Now, in the conversation, there was a lot of people was not allowed to be in that park anymore. But I don't see any problem with our kids in a peace walk. There's never been any problems with the walk. It's always been peaceful. I just think that we need to be more lenient. When they had the concerts there, it was way over 300, 500 people. Now, there's been some other events that was way over 300 and 500 people. Now, this march is going to be closed down about 1 o'clock. I'm talking about in the afternoon, not 1 o'clock at night. So, I'm just having a problem with the resolution that was passed, giving the city manager a full autonomy to make the decisions on this. I think we should come back and deal with each and individual event. Can't do it all as a blanket. And the fact that the Ben Harbor school system is involved in it. They're our partners. So I just think we need to go back and review this and make better decisions on this event. Then I want to speak on, just for 1 second. If everybody knows me, Gene Clark Park has been one of my babies. I go to Gene Clark Park every day, every week, and I see what's going on. And when I ask the question, why are there is a person there, a company that's drilling. And what are they drilling for? Right in the middle of the parking lot. Somebody should have that answer. Abermart, somebody should have that answer as to what they're drilling for. Then when I ride through Grand Boulevard, I see signs that say, this is not a public street. But it is. There's no entrance to a Gene Clark Park. But it is. Now, if you're not watching, I can guarantee you people are going to come in and do whatever they want to do. If nobody's watching, if nobody's paying attention. So, Gene Clark Park has always been a cash cow. We made more money off of Gene Clark Park than any park in any event. And we can't get our swings fixed. We're not getting any the services that the court allowed us to have. They're not pushing the sand back. It's horrible. So if we're talking about June Woods Park and Union Park, let's take in consideration Gene Clark Park.
Thank you. Clerk, could you find out who's drilling? City manager? Well, and let me share this bit of news, that the clerk is the assistant city manager also. So, when I say that, I'm not talking about her doing it in the duty of a clerk. doing it as a duty of assistant city manager. So city manager, can you email the commission to let us know what's going on with the drilling? Thank you. Clerk, we're done. We're done. We're done. Could you call the next one up, please?
Gwen Johnson.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? I just want to say I'm not going to be before you long because everybody has said pretty much everything that I agree with. But what I do want to say, I want to be clear that I have been working with the Peace March since 2019. Okay. So I have been on the planning committee with this event since then. And to hear the city manager say that he doesn't feel like this is an appropriate event to have, that's like telling our kids that they're not worth it, that they're not worth the time, you know? And they're promoting peace. They're initiating peace. If they were inciting violence, if they were fighting and brawling and all of these different things, it would be front page news in the media, people running around talking about stop the violence, you know. But they're incorporating peace down at the monument, and I specifically asked before things changed, and that's the reason why it changed, because one of the reasons why it changed is because he said no. And it wasn't a carnival, it was them coming down to the event, to the park, to the monument, doing a salute to Martin Luther King, having little festivities in the park, peacefully. Peacefully. That would have drawn people to the park, finding out what this monument means and talking about what it means, and everybody having these peaceful conversations. And then our children just came from Selma, right? Walking over the bridge, representing Benton Harbor Peace for Life, Benton Harbor Peace for Life, going to other historical places where they went to, and to come home and say, no, you cannot congregate at our city park. I don't need permission to walk down the street, city manager. I don't need permission to walk down the street. I don't need permission to walk up and down the street. So you can't approve me to walk up and down the street. I'm going to do it anyway. What we're asking was to use the park for that event. So I want to make that clear. And I thank you, Commissioner Warren, and all the commissioners for saying, okay, let's try to do better, because that's what we need to do, try to do better and let our kids know, because if we're not doing better, how can we expect them to do better? We're an example to them. So please, please stop the madness and start acting like our children matter and our community matters, and quit using your own agendas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Derek Bishop.
How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? And my name is Derek Bishop. I'm a parent, taxpayer, youth advocate, podcaster, mentor, basketball coach here. I'm also a stage 4 colon cancer survivor. I'm battling for 5 years, so I feel like my time should be valued. Sister Warren, I appreciate you for your kind words and for you actually putting the words behind your actions, you feel me? Because your body language been real correct. It's 6 of y'all up here. It's a lot of discorrelation in y'all body language, so I feel like us being here not important to everybody sitting up there with y'all. But I'm 35. Peace only been something that I've known for the last 4 years of my life. I say that because since I was 14, I've been a criminal. I taught and facilitated classes while I was incarcerated on cognitive behavior theory, self-love, leadership, and community activism. I've been home a year. I'm gonna tell you from firsthand experience, it's much better to be on the right side of history and help heal our youth and actually be a solution to our youth instead of being the problem, because at some point, they're gonna run out of young people to kill. And that ain't a threat, at least not for me. It's a guarantee based off what history show. And it's much better to build a bridge between the elders and the young than actually be the one burning the bridge down, because everybody can't swim. So a lot of us actually rather pull y'all down with us that's actually hurting us instead of actually caring about y'all life and y'all well-being. I say that because I'm in the streets all day. I'm from Highland Projects. I done lived in Chicago. I done been to Gary. I lived in South Bend. And two of my best friends is actually Sister Tiana and Baptiste Waddell's stepsons. And both of them over here, and they watching me live right now. And my son, one of the boys who went to Selma for that field trip, I dropped him off. Me and Miss Cindy Goodson had a real beautiful conversation that night. And I'm going to tell you, I'm real disappointed in our city. And the simple fact that this man to my right felt like he based his decision based off what he feels instead of data. I can tell you what data say. Data say 1 out of 3 black men going to end up in jail before by the time they're 18. Data say if they can't read at an adequate grade level by the 4th grade, they going to prison. And data say between $38,000 and $48,000 is what the state get for each prisoner based off security level, as opposed to $12,000 average for our students. I did 13 and a half years in prison. I was a product of the school to prison pipeline, because all devils don't wear white skin. You understand what I'm saying? All skin folk ain't kin folk, and I'm telling you firsthand experience. Y'all would much rather do the right thing and actually help our kids heal, because I'm in the streets like the potholes still in the streets with these light poles, and I have a whole lot more weight to some of these people in positions of authority that's only see us as job security in the bag to secure their financial future.
Commissioner Clark Griffin.
First, I want to just clarify, Juneteenth was made a national holiday in 2021 by the president. It was also made a national holiday by the governor. And we've been partnering with the city for about 8 years. So also, our resolution was put in months before this was made a governor-related City Center Park. So I just want to clear that up. I was born at Selma Hospital in Selma, Alabama. My granddaddy, Grady Scott, is Coretta Scott's King's uncle. So it was an honor and a privilege when I seen that they went to my hometown, the kids, and walked that bridge. When I go down there once or twice a year, I go to that bridge. So to see them, walk that bridge and be so proud that I was so excited, so honored, and I don't see no reason whatsoever why they cannot be there at the Peace Walk, why they cannot use the City Center Park. As the 4th Ward Commissioner of that ward, and I've already expressed my disapproval. You guys all seen it. I don't see why that is a school. It's government. That the resolution say government related. That they are government. It's a peace walk, for God's sake. It's a peace walk. They're walking in peace. Would you rather them walk in violence? This is a peace walk. Let them babies walk. Let them have the event at City Center Park. It's unnecessary. The Blossom Time Parade was there. That's not government related. We just had that this month. So what is the problem? Also, the resolution, when that was on us asking for a resolution to pass that, my voice was silent because my hand was raised and it was seen and unrecognized. It was seen, so I was not able to express, me and some of the other commissions that had a concern about making that. This is supposed to be our park. This is public property. So it was not a discussion because my hand was seen and ignored.
So we did not get to discuss this. So I say, open it back up. Put it back on a resolution, especially something event like this. You know, it does not make sense. You can't pick and choose what you decide to allow in the city center park and what you don't. And Mr. Little, we are his bosses. We are his bosses. So if we feel compelled to open it back up or put it in a resolution, then we can do that. We put the law down, not Mr. Little. He can make suggestions. So I say let them have the peace walk. That's it.
Cindy Goodson.
My time started. Hey, good evening, everybody. I come in peace. I come in peace. My name is Cindy Goodson. I am proud to be born and raised from Benton Harbor, class of 1986, class vice president, played basketball, ran track, cheerleader, band, first chair flutist. And I went on to SBCU to play basketball on a scholarship to Texas Southern. And I came back here a few years ago to take care of my mom. And I was invited to come and work at the high school. And I'm the third year here at Benton Harbor High School as a family and community engagement specialist. I know a lot of y'all in the room, so, hey, Mike Hoy, hey, all y'all over there, I love all y'all, I see you back there. I worked with Tiana Batiste Waddell last year, I know you. The Browns, I gotta give y'all a big shout out because I called y'all at the last minute. I facilitated that trip on the Civil Rights Trail, and it was absolutely life-changing, thank you. And Miss Eleanor Gavin got me in touch with the Browns in the fourth quarter. It was, November 11th, I broke my fibula tibula, and I had surgery. I've been out of work. I've been off work for 5 months. I came back in April, and I was asked to be a chaperone. Mr. Morant put this in my hands, and I was so honored. He asked me, you gonna be ready to walk? I'm like, yep, I'm gonna be ready. I'm making it ready. I'm making it enough. So I walked the Edmund Pettus Bridge with our 38 students that walked across that bridge. And it was absolutely life-changing. Hey, Jerry. Absolutely life-changing. I also had the wonderful privilege of speaking with city. I'm not into politics, y'all. I call it politricks. But I had a wonderful, peaceful conversation with the city manager today, and I expressed exactly where I was coming from on behalf of the students of Benton Harbor High School, and what it means to us to be able to tie in this momentum to the Peace Walk, to the Peace Day. Sister Gavin asked me would I help? And I'm like, absolutely, of course. This is a grand finale of the whole year. It's where everybody in the whole city can come together. Our 38 kids are in momentum. They've gone and they are leaders. We took the leaders out of the building, y'all. We handpicked the ones that are quiet and they get overlooked because we have to spend a lot of energy. Can I get a look, Grace? We have to overlook them
Give her
sometimes.
2 more minutes, please.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Because they're quiet, they're learning, they're excelling. They represent the ROAR, R-O-A-R. Anybody know what ROAR means? Respectful. Okay. They represent our roar in our building. They're respectful, they take ownership, they're achieving, and they are responsible. And they're not always the ones that seem, because we have to spend a lot of energy breaking up fights and brawls, and, we get our glasses broken, and we get hurt, and we're in it to win it for these babies. So when I, just heard that it was denied, I immediately, I didn't even ask, well, do y'all think I should write a letter? I just wrote him a letter, and I had a conversation with him today, and he understood a little bit deeper about what this is, what we're trying to do. I'm gonna say that because that's what I want to believe. Okay, that's what I want to believe and agree to. So when we, at this last minute of trying to get this peace walk to be the biggest event, and I told Elnora today, I said, I'm calling every news outlet, everything anywhere near this vicinity to be down here to capture this. If we can just, and also, I'm gonna ask city manager to look me in the eye based on our conversation today. This is the woman that you were speaking to today, and I want to thank you. And I also want to thank you for saying to me on the phone today that you understand a little bit better what we're trying to do, and next year we will have the whole event, the bells and the whistles. That's what I took from our conversation today. Is that what we're agreeing to?
Last part, I said we would get together and discuss and try to figure out how to go forward.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take what I can get, but I'm also not afraid to not ask for permission for things. I said that, and that's my time is up. I'm asking and I'm agreeing and I'm peaceful and I'm excited that we will get to walk down, represent, do our peace pledge, and get our photos and our videos, and then we're gonna walk back to the high school. We just want everybody in the city to participate. Okay? Thank y'all for the time.
That it? Marvin Haywood?
Marvin Haywood.
Yes, man, it has been a long ride. You know, one of the things that I've done, I've been following this situation for 25 plus years. And one of the things that I've noticed in the master plan, it was never included the inner city. And that's what we all represent, the inner city. We represent the students. We represent those who are the present as well as the future. For years, I have watched decisions being made in this very chamber. And I understand what she talked about when she talked about getting an understanding. But see, first of all, fair exchange, if it's not fair, it has been a robbery. And for years, we have had individuals that have made decisions that have not been in the best interest of this community or the people that we say we serve, all right? And so we have to deal with reality. First and foremost, I've always came down with facts. Truth and facts matter to me. For me to sit and consciously know that I am hurting someone, it disturbs me. And making decisions that's not really in the best interest of the community, it disturbs me because I've seen it done. First and foremost, you have to understand whose agenda are they following. And I've been here long enough to know it ain't the agenda of the inner city. You know, and that's just being real. I have seen the decisions that have been made. You know, people talk, you know, they can say, well, you know, I'm gonna work with you. It's been things that people have never got back with the community on. For years. This has been going on. This didn't just start today. This has been going on for years. And so for people to sit and say that they want to help the community, we have to deal with reality. Who is it that you're trying to help? You know, I've been blackballed for years, but it ain't about Marvin Haywood. Because if it's about me, how can I help the city? How can I help the city if I got an agenda? If I'm trying to get some money out the deal? It is not about me, and it has never been about me. I've never come down here asking for nothing because I've always made a way. And the reason I say that is because it's sad that people will actually look you in the face and say, you know, this is what we gonna do. We gonna get back with you. And a week later, they ain't thought no more about what they said to you. So we have to just keep it real. You know, I have watched it. I have watched people from that side of the aisle follow somebody beat that ain't in conjunction with the city. Because, and this is being as real as it get, they have been following orders that have been corporate orders. Just like with all these things that's happening in the city, this is done because other people have already planned it. Y'all just had to approve it. But it's not in the best interest of the community because gentrification has been going on for 25 years when they said we're going to have a world-class community and they attacked the high school years ago. The governor came down, the first thing she talked about, shutting down the high school and went to the county jail. On that side of the bridge, you got the hospital. Over here, you got the county jail. Now make it make sense. See, you have to be able to look at this thing through the lens of reality. And a lot of people looking at it from whatever lens they want to look at it from. But
facts is facts and truth is truth. And so in order for to help the children and to help this community, we have to deal with people that's real. And I don't agree with everything, but I know if you didn't sue me twice, I wouldn't have you managing my city. And I'm just that's just facts. Thank you. Have a good day.
Mr. Duncan.
First, I want to say hello to you guys. You don't have to say anything back because it's you guys would actually make the decision supposedly, but yet you give away all of your rights to making the last and the best decisions for the citizens. I'm totally about the citizens. I don't make no mistake about that, and I don't want you guys to make one either. Anybody almost step on this coming up here today? Our building is deteriorating. Our driveway, we had to practically beg to get anything done to it. And you know how long I begged for that? Everybody's talking about what they do or what they don't do and all of that. But I'm pointing my fingers at all of you guys up there. You don't want to work with the citizens. You didn't want the newsletter. You didn't want, okay. That was our means of communication. All of this could have been discussed, and the citizens could have been aware of you guys' actions long before now. Wouldn't be a last minute change your mind, do what you want to do, damn it. And you guys are responsible for it. It's not the citizens. We here for a very specific reason, and that's to get this march on this year. You guys flipped the script right in the middle of the conversation and said, next year sometime, never worry. Okay. It was a holiday. It was a holiday. None of our parks, the grass was cut. None of them, not even, what's the name of it down here? So we wouldn't be prepared. I wouldn't want my kids walking through that. Broadway Park looks a mess. It's not a mess, but it could be in a couple more weeks, or a couple of more rains or something. You know, we are doing all the wrong damn things and looking for the right outcome. That's the right word, too. It could be solved today. These people, and I thank you guys for doing all the work you did for trying to get this underway. And I don't want 2 more minutes, but I want to say, Mickey Yarbrough Park, the bathrooms are locked down, and you got 2 porta potties sitting at the front door. Make that make sense. Somebody, and I'm pointing at all of y'all not doing your job. How many of y'all go to the river? I know you, brother. I know you do. And I know you see, and I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we got 2 porta potties, but guess where the overflow go? Right back to where they were. They won't cut the bushes down, maybe for that reason. So you can go up in there and do whatever you want to do. And I do mean whatever you want to do. So if you're not part of the solution, if you're not the solution, you're the damn problem.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Wait a minute, my time, the buzzer ring? Yes.
Yeah, you said you didn't need 2 more minutes, so. Listen, with all due respect, you have been heard. we got commissioners here who, well, if I can't speak, then we have commissioners here. We could have brought it to the agenda, which would have been probably something that we could have vetted it out and brought it to the Park and Rec's agenda. So we would have had the correct information and all of this could have been said and done. I'm hearing difference, 45 people, 600 people, 500 people. I think that just moving forward, if we want to, and there's another whole nother elephant in the room, because when we bring this parks, the biggest information is when we brought this park resolution to my committee, I turned it down. I said I didn't want it on my committee. Is that true? I told them I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. Is that true or not? True. And we dropped the whole resolution. The resolution came back another way. So commissioners who saying something different now, we gotta understand that you can bring it back, or you can discuss it again and bring it back a different way. But you are the electorate, so there's no use in throwing a rock now when you got the ability to bring it back. This could have been talked about Monday at communications. I said it could have been talked about Monday or Tuesday. You got enough commissioners to call a special meeting. Am I right or wrong? How many commissioners take to call a special meeting? It takes 2. So you have the power, utilize it. Thank everybody for coming out. Okay, you got the meeting.
Yes. So I apologize for being late. I ran over at work, everyone.
Manager.
Oh. I'm going to go ahead and take the floor super quick. So I missed new business. I was not in the room yet for Ward 2 polling. So if anybody had comments about Ward 2 polling place being changed, I am having a town hall meeting tomorrow at 5:30 at the library. So you can bring it to me tomorrow and we can discuss that, because it moved forward, but it has not been voted on yet by the full commission. So again, if anyone had an issue with moving the Ward 2 polling place, I have a town hall meeting tomorrow at 5:30 at the library. Or 5 p.m. 5 p.m. at the library tomorrow. We can discuss that at the town hall meeting. And that is all I have. Right, meeting is adjourned.
Citizens didn't get their way.